Hi and welcome back. This week I got to go on a very fun special trip. So I only had time to cook 3 meals before I left. And the first one was this pasta meal, which turned out to be so delicious. I just sauteed up these vegetables and seasonings. And then I had the shrimp in my freezer and I defrosted it and threw it in. Then added a few more seasonings. And when that was looking somewhat cooked, I added cream. Now you can add more or less depending on how thick you like it. Then you add your cheese and gently stir on low heat and salt to taste. Now once the sauce was made, I had cooked noodles to the package direction. Oh, look how beautiful that is, so delicious. So I cooked noodles to the package direction and added them to my sauce. Well coated the noodles and added just a little bit of Parmesan on top. And I served it up with a little bit of fresh basil on top, and this turned out so delicious. I will link the recipe below where I found it. I modified it like I usually do, but check it out. For this next meal, there are a few options. You can buy already cooked and shredded pork, but I bought half a pig this summer, so I put this pork in the crock pot with some of my homemade taco seasoning and let it cook down. Now, when it cooked down, I shredded it and then I continued to cook it to let it kind of absorb some of that moisture and fat back into the meat, because you really want that moist meat for this recipe. So I removed the bone and kind of, you can see that the moisture pretty much went back into the meat. And then I shredded it up really good. Again, that's an option, but it's certainly good this way. Then I just added a can of enchilada sauce and mixed that up. And then I set that aside. And while that was on warm, I fried up some corn tortillas by spraying oil in the pan and oil on both, or on the other side of the tortilla, so that it cooked evenly. Flipped those, cooked them on each side. Now they don't have to be crunchy, but you want to fry them so they're soft and pliable. So I fried up a bunch of those and then I filled it with the meat. And I actually made the meat the day before, so you can do this in 2 days. And I put cheese and meat in each tortilla and kind of on both sides. And then I filled up my pan with the tacos and stuck it in the oven to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees. And then once they're done, you're going to want to serve them right away. Garnish and serve, because they will start to get soggy on the bottom. But you can take them, let them cool like on a rack, and put them in the fridge, and they do make good leftovers. You can also, if you don't want to use your oven, if it's hot, you can also just make these straight on a frying pan like a quesadilla style. The last meal I made this week was a big pot of soup. Again, like I said, I had bought half a pig, so I had these hams in the freezer, and I just let that cook on high on my crock pot setting on the Instant Pot for 5 hours. Then I removed the bone and took the meat out of the pot, and I removed the fat and shredded up this meat and set it aside. And then I drained the kind of the juice that you see that's in the pot, put it aside for to add back as needed as I made the soup. So I shredded this up and set it aside. So I added back a little bit of the juice and I put it on the saute setting, and I sauteed the vegetables. And I got those soft, and then I added some salt and bay leaves and some thyme and pepper And then I drained and rinsed my beans and added those and added back the rest of the juice just to give flavor to the soup. And now I added 4 cups of water and about half or a third of the meat that I cooked, and then I froze the rest. I also did that on my tacos. I froze the extra meat so I could pull it out for an easy meal. Now, if you like a thicker soup, don't add more water, but if you want a thinner soup, go ahead and add the water, extra water like I did, and let that cook on saute, so it's like a low boil for about 20 minutes to get all the flavors mixed up. Remove the bay leaf, and you're good to go. See, I wanted to have a big pot of soup because my husband and daughter they had to work, so they couldn't go with us on our trip. So I wanted them to have some food to eat up while we were gone, and it worked out pretty well. Thanks you guys who made it all the way to the end. This is the amazing shots I got on our vacation this last week with family. We went to celebrate my niece's birthday, and she really wanted to go to Yellowstone. So we met them up there and some other family. We got to see the Old Faithful geyser shoot off, which was really cool. And we also got to go to the Norse geysers, which were some other hot springs. There's so many cool features there. They were so beautiful. What did you guys do this week? Anything fun? I know there is a huge heat wave coming our way, so we are preparing for that. And next week, I hope to make a video on some simple meals that aren't gonna heat up the whole house. Oh, this fall was so pretty in the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. It was beautiful, but it was very busy, so it was hard to get a good picture. But the canyon is just gorgeous. Just lovely. I loved it so much. It was so neat to see all these beautiful scenes of nature that I've never seen before. Even though I live in Oregon, I've never gone to Yellowstone. So this was my first time. Now we also went to the mud volcanoes. This is where lots of hot springs, muddy hot springs. Here's one. And then we went to something called the Dragon's Mouth. It was really cool. It's like this cave, and it looks like there's like a dragon breathing steam out of it, and it actually sounds like it too. It was really neat. And then we went up to the Midway geyser that has the prism geyser. And it was kind of late in the day, so we didn't really get the best light for this geyser because it's the one that has all the colors. But it was still really cool. There's these cool hot springs just coming down into the river. It was really beautiful, but mostly all you can see is steam. So here's the prism geyser, and it was really hard to see the colors, but it was really neat. So that was our trip. It was so cool and special, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful rest of your summer. I start school again pretty soon. I'm a teacher, so I gotta get ready to do that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye.